Welcome to TradeTheMBI.com. This is Jonas Reporters for the 21st. Welcome to summer. And pretty much did exactly what we thought, coming back in to fill towards that 76% on a little bit of softness. Still cyan under red, and you can see right here we're getting that meeting of the midterm buyers on the DOC with the shorts, and that dip below the negative 13.5. But once it crosses back up with steel, should be reset and reloaded and ready to go. Still, you need enough short activity at 6.44. Hardly a threat from an NQ standpoint, far stronger. And it's interesting because that had a little bit more that needed to fill back from this positive extreme breakout. So again, the NASDAQ continues to be the strength, but also again, same DOC reset with the steel and still cyan under red. And there's no change there. So until that does, this is all just playing around in the range, which is fine. Everything's clean and simple so far. A little bit of selling there, flocked back into treasuries. Crazy because at the end of the day, the Fed is not changing its rate position and going down. And it's very funny when we move on to oil, still stuck in its middle zone, which is kind of the Goldilocks range. I think it's still a little bit elevated for that. You get down into the 60s, you really start promoting some growth aspects, but I think they're happy with it. And of course, the hilariousness of the Eurozone, the ECB had hiked its rates, and then 2 days later, the report comes out the Eurozone is in recession. You can't make this stuff up. It's hilarious. But they didn't have much choice because what would be the justification of having a euro without rising rates given where the US is at? So it's an impossible situation for them. It's only going to make it worse that they raised rates going into a recession. How intelligent is that one? And from a gold standpoint, nada. So we did get a little activity from the crypto space. The buildup has started, and a little bit of activity there. Everyone's feeling a little more comfortable, and with that excess funds lying around, trying to make that push back up. Not a shock with that one. It had filled in everything it needed to from before, so it was looking good. Not quite as strong from an ETH standpoint. Bitcoin clearly had the edge on this one. I think it's probably going to outperform on ETH in general, as something we talked about a while ago, but no question about that. I think that it's finally found its comfort zone. So nice rise, fills all the way back. It's pretty clean from a DOC standpoint for us in the short setup, and now it's moved back above the 23%. But again, you had the spike of MBI white, the magenta being over. Should be enough to hold it in place, but if that fades back down, then you would expect that move towards the zero again. And all clean though, because that clears out any of the residual positive extremes and wiped out any of the weak hands, so to speak, that couldn't see it coming. But all good from our standpoint. We're in 5K, or in this case, 5-minute chart. It was just mostly soft fading with little pops in between. We had a lot of white MBI leads there on that. And then you can see midday after the little spike, we ended up with that nice MBI white spike, and then that created the new lows, which then just got built up from a pretty deep shakeout move and gave a nice breakout. And that's kind of how we filled back part of that from a positive extreme, went back to this mid range right here, which turned out to be pretty much where the low range was, and we're just kind of floating back there in the post market as we prepare for the open. But as always, continue to put any updates on the Skype chat. Trade well. Have a good one.